talk about Cancer. Cancer is the incarnation of your soul into matter, okay? So I'll just leave that there like that. Let me go ahead and bring down the Divine Feminine. Ooh, okay, we got it. Anchor that into the physical. Of course, it's the side closer to the camera. Over here. I'll repeat that in a moment. Hi, hello again, and welcome. So we got that. So the side farther from the camera is the Divine Masculine. And it seems like the focus on the Divine Masculine side is about rising up, moving on, moving forward, maybe even coming back around, or coming from the future into the past, coming from the higher realm into the lower realm to manifest something, anchor something into the physical. It would be some type of vision or etheric anchor, meaning basically a cord, a bond, a tie. And this is the 1111 Divine Lovers series, so we're doing a Divine Partnership Assessment. It's an 11 by 11 card reading. I have out right now 10 minor arcana with 1 major. So I'll talk about what the cycle looks like, the undercurrents, and I may begin to give my findings. When the guidance comes out about how to move through the cycle, I will go ahead and give my official recommendation. It will be cursory because it's for the general public. That's an oxymoron. My official findings for a cursory judgment. Cursory means non-permanent. Something later will be more fixed, more permanent. Okay, so I'll come back through and give a little bit of guidance, give a little bit of medicine. Let's go ahead and begin. You know, I'm seeing that we're moving into the cycle here. The Divine Feminine is going on a journey to manifest something here in the physical. The Divine Masculine seems to be coming from the more higher vibration of the timeline into the present to do something here in the specific cycle. Now, they both work their way to an 8. It does seem like the masculine also progresses beyond that. Now, 8 has to deal with moving into this galaxy, moving into this frequency vibration, but also it's a portal into the present. So they're going to be moving in and moving out, moving in and moving out, through and weaving to the higher consciousness and lower consciousness, past, future, now, present. What it is that they want to anchor into this cycle. So parts of this will be revisited. I'm not seeing any Mercury energy in terms of things coming back. So I think things will come up, not come back. I don't feel that there will be visitation. Now, if there will be visitation, the Divine Masculine will show up. The Divine Feminine's going out on a journey to understand and anchor into future cycles what was experienced and learned in the past. So as the Divine Feminine walks forward, goes on this journey to work on themselves, align with their soul purpose, mission, karma, destiny, step into higher ground, especially emotionally, especially in terms of the divinity, spirituality, coming into alignment of their spiritual gifts, receiving messages from the higher self, moving on to their spiritual practice, aligning with their devotional path. The masculine will come through with a little bit of truth, trying to come into some type of bigger, brighter, better foundation. I'm already sensing that won't be honored, that won't be met. They'll come through and arrive at a battle, and they'll be fighting themselves the more they externalize their problems, shortcomings, deficits onto the feminine. Okay, so since the specifics are coming in, let's go ahead and see what the guidance is. Those were my general findings already for this cycle. We enter the month here. We enter the cycle. So the cycle is going to start around the 1st of July, and it will continue onwards towards the 31st. About exactly the 31st of July. Around the 1st of August, it'll be starting a new cycle. So it could continue on for 3 days past into the new cycle. It could also start to begin to terminate in the spiritual around the 27th. And what'll happen is you'll see things, you'll see the ships departing, like say, you'll see the energy starting to actualize in the physical a couple of days later. So around the 1st of August, we'll already be fully starting the new cycle. As we begin this cycle, we're moving forward towards a journey. So we're on a journey through the physical in order to accumulate our spiritual power. And through here, it'll be feelings, wanting, feeling, thinking, needing, to know that our life is our own, to know that where we decide to allow our spirit to consciously engage reality, we want some freedom around that. And the freedom is going to look like autonomy, franchise, and control. What it is that we're going to allow, what it is we're going to receive, what it is we're going to accept, and how we're vested in our spiritual journey, spiritual experience. The sacrifice here is on the feminine side, it'll be beliefs that grow the reality. No longer engaging in beliefs that strip the reality, deplete, no more poverty consciousness, no more lack mentality, self-worth and value. That'll be where things begin. For the masculine, the sacrifice here will be how to negotiate, navigate, and come into union here in the physical. Okay, there are sacrifices, there are things that need to be given up, there are sacrifices that need to be made in order to receive here in the physical realm. In order to pull energy out of the spiritual, there is some type of physical sacrifice. Sometimes it's hard work, sometimes it's elbow grease, sometimes it's needing to reveal something alive inside, intimacy, into me, you see, sharing a secret. When you begin to move in one direction, just by definition, you let go of certain options. Those are all types of sacrifices. That's the sacrifice for the masculine. Because the focus is on the feminine side, aligning with the self. On the masculine side, a commitment to manifesting a vision. And I'm not seeing that received on the feminine. I'm seeing that is a little bit up in the air. Because the obstacle, the objection, the conflict maybe, on the feminine side is that they're a little bit displeased, underwhelmed, disinterested, unimpressed, most definitely. On the masculine, there's a truth. It could be a harsh truth, or it could be something being cut out because the decision that something's not in alignment. It was gone forward. I have a feeling the feminine might be cutting out things on the masculine side when this truth comes. Okay, so because I'm seeing we evolve into the next cycle, the masculine is confused and the feminine moves forward from something. Oh wait, I see why it's not coming. We have this moon. Oh, there we go. Okay, so the moon cycle is creating a challenge. I didn't call up the cards, I'll do that now. So what I did was I shuffled the new moon into the deck. Since it's the new moon, I have the Cancer energy out here in the center. It came out with the combined shared energy for both of them equaling together as the Justice card that's upright. We have the Il Diavolo, the devil, on the feminine side. Continuing on the feminine side, Il Torre, the power. The devil's in reverse. Continuing on the feminine side, and the focus is La Imperatrice, the Empress, in reverse. Continuing on the feminine side, we have the High Priestess, La Papessa. And ending on the feminine side, in the evolving situation going into the cycle next month, we have La Metia, the Hermit. On the masculine side, we have Il Mondo, which is the world, in reverse. Continuing on the masculine side, in the conflict, the challenge, the obstacle, we have Ye Amante, that is the lovers, in reverse. El Sole in the focus, that is the sun in reverse. On the sacrifice to be made, we have Il Bagetto, the magician in reverse, and continuing in the evolving situation for the cycle, ending in the masculine, we have L'Imperatore, which is the emperor in reverse. So what this is telling me, the feminine is moving forward from devilish functions. It may be that parts of this cycle will not be explored. Parts of the journey will be ignored, shifted, changed around. I'm hearing dismissed because the desire here, the yoke, it's gone bad. Aspects of this journey, since they're way delayed, and they actually are over because we've navigated somewhere else, especially on the divine feminine side. The focus is no longer giving or working on this connection. Now, I do want to say the divine feminine, the divine masculine have both shown up. We do have a soulmate situation. We do not have a twin situation in the spiritual. We have a false twin situation in the physical, and it's actually more karmic and catalytic, which is not that's a rare combination. So false twin, we have a false positive, which means it's a false twin situation, because there's also an indication of a karmic. So in karmic situations, we can't have a false twin. And then also the reason that this connection is coming together is because there was something from a previous past lifetime that wasn't completed, and it was completed in this lifetime. So moving into this cycle, what we have here is okay, well, see, the feminine moves out of this cycle, moving forward into higher ground. And it will be that it's kind of like you're on a mountaintop, and then you have to keep going to the next mountain. So you're actually moving forward. It brings you down into the depths of a valley. But the valley, it just has like a mist, a veil, and that veil consists of previous emotions. Maybe the wind was blown in from a past place, and now it's since astral terrain. It's mixed with all of this residue. The subconscious experiences from the past being triggered as we move forward in this journey. And it'll bring back up the person who's the closest to that energy of a twin flame. So another indication for false twin. And they may come back because they were called to you because you're recapturing things. And since it's the Mercury retrograde, I bet you the second the moon and Mercury are somewhat in a yuti, they're touching each other, something's going to manifest quickly, especially because of the eclipse. So remnant things will get banished. It's kind of like when you're cleansing your house, that spirit that likes to stick in the corner. If you just get a spray bottle and you squirt some Florida water in the corner, maybe some other things, some ruda I usually like to do, they get gone. It's like that last piece of dirt on your body that you have to wash off. That's kind of what's coming through here, because we start the cycle with something's over, but it hasn't been let go, and somebody's healing, or they've recently been given their power back, or sought their power back, or recognized their power in a situation which was very tedious. There's some defensiveness here. It seems like 9 days ago, so it would have been last month's full moon. The full moon would have been in Sagittarius. So during the Sagittarius full moon, there was a combination in the karma. And towards the next full moon, it's going to be released. And it would have been the feminine moving on from being a novice, having this divinity, having this spiritual power, but not having a recognition, a consciousness, or a mastery of that in the physical. They were projecting their self-worth and value onto a masculine who was fighting, defending their own shadow. They were defending their ego self, the divine masculine. And it could have been it's something that a dance has been going on with some of us 9 lifetimes. But see, that would only be if the feminine had their Venus and an earth sign, mainly Capricorn. It could also be that their water rising sign, that would mean your descendant would be an earth. Most specifically, Cancer rising, you would have a Capricorn descendant. Now, in addition, this cycle's been going on since last full moon. It'll culminate on the full moon this month. So on the Capricorn full moon, this person, that's the false twin, will be eclipsed out. This is the lifetime where you complete and close out the cycle because you've been doing things from previous lifetimes. Now, this is a soulmate, but this is a soulmate that doesn't impress the feminine anymore. And when I say that it doesn't impress, I mean underwhelmed, disinterested, and unimpressed. That's a triple whammy, okay? So it's over. And the recognition of that will come to the feminine. Also, the recognition of the false twin. Because on the masculine side, what will happen is that it's a truth that this is a soulmate, a recognition that this is a soulmate, but also there's going to be some sadness on the masculine side because that was a I'm hearing you think love will last, but then you just hold on and then it's gone. How do you stop before it's too late? How do you stop? So there was something devilish in the masculine's nature. There might have been some truth they were hiding, something probably mostly about an addiction. For some of them, it was a drug addiction. It would have been harsher drugs or sex addiction. And with the sex addiction, there might have been a little bit of drinking, but the drinking wasn't the addiction. The addiction was escaping, some lack of ability to show up and participate and be present in their own life experience and show up and be present in a connection, either with people of the soul group or a community or in an actual partnership. There was something about themselves that was hidden. It was not able to be seen. It may or may not have been willfully withheld. And the masculine showing up this time trying to commit, but they can only really commit to sex. That there will still continue to be something hidden. And they will continue to come to this connection because they're not wanting to lose out. They navigated on somewhere else because it was easier. In the past, they navigated onto somewhere else because it was easier, the divine masculine. And they were getting basal needs met, non-spiritual needs. They were not living dharmically, righteously, satvically. They were living rajasically in their libido, in their addiction, mainly sex addiction. If there was drinking, it wasn't a drinking problem, it was escapism, loneliness, depression, a lack of ability to show up and be present because of love wounds from the past. And love doesn't always mean with other relationships. They might have not been given enough emotional nourishment and emotional affirmation, attention. That might also be the love wound. Something in the development between the age of 1 and 8, 0, 7. And now it's equated to them having a liar's thing because of entitlement issues. But these entitlement issues are because of an undeveloped maturity. And in the place where they actively engage with the world, so I have some technicality here. They're not a liar, but they are lying. So they're not lying with their statement to deceive, but they are telling untruths. So in that sense, they can't show up, be present with themselves. So they don't know their own truth. So of course they're lying because they're doing the society's thing of trying to show up and be present. But since it's not coming from an authentic self, there's no way they can. Because they have the sun in reverse on top of the sun in a fire sign. So if they're not an Aries, Leo, Sagittarius, most likely Aries, it would be somebody trying to show up and commit to a vision And that doesn't go well because they're still not yet moving, acting from their authentic self. Because the evolving situation is the feminine goes on, moves forward, being okay being alone. They're going to study more of their spirituality. They're going to learn their divinity a lot more. The masculine's going to have to go forward and suffer a little bit until they're willing to look at themselves and confront what's alive in them. And this is justice. This is moving into alignment, moving forward. It seems like the deliberation and the favor goes towards the feminine. The cost for the feminine will need to be to move into awareness of the cycle. In order to move into the divine grace, you will need to leave this behind. So if this person comes back divine feminine and you accept them, there's going to be a loss for you. Let me be helpful here because that's a very big statement. I'm going to give you some specificities here. We have the energy of Capricorn, most definitely somebody at Capricorn rising or descendant. So they could be Cancer rising, Capricorn rising. We have Virgo. We have another person who might be an Aries rising or Gemini rising. To a lesser degree, they would be a Sag rising or Libra rising. Okay. So I said Capricorn, Gemini, Aries, Virgo, also Cancer, also Sagittarius, also Libra. Okay. We have the Sun, Mercury, Saturn, Mars, and Venus. So there could be a person here with their Venus in Virgo. You could have your Sun in Virgo or Pisces. You could be an Aries rising with your Sun in Pisces as well. You or they. Okay. You could have your Mercury in Aries. You could have your Saturn in Gemini or Sagittarius. You could have your Mars in Capricorn. You could have a Cancer rising sign. You could have an Aries or Libra rising sign. You could have a Gemini or Sagittarius rising sign, a Capricorn or Cancer rising sign. Most definitely, if somebody has a Venus in Capricorn or a Capricorn descendant, Cancer ascendant, which is your rising sign, that's very true for you. Especially if your Venus is in Libra. So if I touched you just now, great. If this resonates just now, great. If it doesn't resonate, I don't need the questions, comments, concerns, because if that's how it is. If it resonates first of all, that's for you. If I called you out and it doesn't resonate, there's something about what I'm saying to you that you're going to figure out. A lot of times people will watch a video and 30 days later, they're just coming into the knowledge of what that cycle meant for them. I read according to rising signs. That's how astrology works. That's how the universe sees people. So I'm a little bit more natural. Most people don't. They look at things through the sun sign. The sun sign is the energy you're projecting out into the world. The sun here is in reverse, which means either an eclipse or that it's talking about rising signs or the mid-heaven. So this is a cycle of eclipse. I'm getting very strong Leo Capricorn energy. That actually is not talking about Leo Capricorn, it's talking about the devil. And it's not talking about the devil as in the entity of willful malevolence. It's talking about the hidden shadow in the collective humanity that's coming out. And since you're hoping, wishing, praying, yearning, not conjuring up some wounding from the past, but remembering that wounding and using that wounding to move on, move forward, to bring about a better life, it's coming up because you're hoping, wishing, praying under the moon, be it a new moon, the person's coming back during the Mercury retrograde to remind you of what's getting eclipsed out of your life. You're going to move on, move forward from the cycle single into spiritual technologies. You're going to be learning about your spirituality, your divinity. This person's going to be going around and around and around and around and around in their head, seeing how they lost out. because their little game didn't work. And they may not have been playing a game with you, but they were playing a little game all the same. If it wasn't with you more malignantly, it was less malignant with themselves. You're the one who justice is benefiting. Just barely, but it is happening. You're the one in alignment, divine feminine, so you win. And I'm saying it that way because that's how it comes out in this deliberation. I would not normally do it that way. It's not about winning or losing. You don't ever fail a test from the universe. You just keep taking it over and over and over again. Same shit, different toilet, same dress, different color. Okay? So it seems like you're going to gain the insight of the previous combination as you move into this new cycle. Masculine, it seems like they're going to be starting this new cycle, still doing work from the previous cycle. Cycles that are over, they're still living, they're still carrying with them. They're still trying, they're still, the joke's on them. They're still trying to manifest things that they used to be able in a previous life, with previous energy and previous people that were stuck on stupid and in low vibrational cycles. The whole environment around them has increased, gotten bigger and brighter and better, and they're stayed the same. So now they've become obsolete. Their means, mechanisms, methodologies, their theories, techniques, technologies, they imply, that they implore, that they evoke. They're trying to resurrect system structures, foundations that don't harmonically integrate with the new. And so the joke again is on them. Their ancestors won't be in alignment with them, neither will the soul group. The powers and the forces that be, the spiritual world, won't be in alignment with them. The universe won't be in alignment with them. Their mind will betray them. So this is the divine love cycle, a recognition of a false twin. Self-worth and value, divine feminine. Let go or get dragged, divine masculine. That's the guidance. Self-worth and value, divine feminine. Let go or get dragged, divine masculine. You will be punished for your beauty. Would you rather be hated for who you are, loved for who you're not? That's the divine feminine guidance. Divine masculine. Let go or get dragged. You will regret 100% of the shots you do not take. The game has been lost. And the only thing you can walk away with as a victory is you learned yourself. If you lose somebody and you gained yourself, even if you're the one who messed up, you win. The other person won as well, because they're walking away with their strength, courage, and wisdom, their self-worth and value. If you lost someone, but you gained yourself, what to do bigger, brighter, better next time, you won. So divine masculine, you will miss 100% of the shots you do not take. You need to get in the game to win the game, but you must let go or get dragged. You're going back to a previous place where you need to be a former version of yourself to recapture something that's already passed you by. And if it didn't come back around for you, it wasn't for you to begin with. So you have to let go or get dragged. Do you understand? It's been an honor and pleasure to serve you today. Thank you for allowing me the privilege to do so. If anything I said resonates deeply with you, you can go ahead and check the show notes, see if there's any promotions, see if there's any resources for you to brush yourself up. Please take good care of yourself until we meet again. Namaste, Dandavad, and Ashe. Au revoir. Sayonara. Auf Wiedersehen. Bye-bye.